Hi viewers, this is me, Professor Mumtaz, a Department of English, Government Postgraduate College, Chikwal. And today in this lecture, I am going to talk about words and meaning. It means that what is the relationship between words and meanings. And if we talk about a piece of literature, a drama, novel, short story, poetry, or there is an autobiography, there is a biography, or there is an essay, it means that everything is full of words. In drama there are words, in novel there are words, in short story there are words, in poetry there are words, in essays there are words, in biographies and autobiographies there are words. It means that through words they are going to convey something. It means that the importance of words cannot be neglected. Words are very much important whereas meanings are concerned. And all the human beings who are living in this universe, in order to convey their messages, in order to convey their feelings, emotions, attitudes, behaviors, each and everything, they use the language. What is the language? Language is the process of transferring information from one person to the other. So what they use, what people use, they use words. Dramatists, novelists, poets and essayists, all these people use words. When they use words, it means that they are going to convey something. What do they want to convey? That is a thing which we say meanings. They want to convey meanings. Now, whenever anybody utters a word and you listen a word, whether it is in written form, whether it is orally saying something, some person is saying, or whether it is written at somewhere, or if you are a student of literature and you come across words over a drama, novel, short story and poetry's book. So here I am going to tell you people that when you listen a word, when you read a word, so what are the things which those words are going to convey to you people? So very first thing with words, with reference to words is sense. So sense means that what the writer says is sense. A speaker, what a speaker says, what a person says to other person, what a dramatist, a novelist, a short story writer, an essayist, a person who writes a biography or an autobiography written, or mean that whatever is a piece of literature, what writer says is called sense, and he uses words to deliver this sense. Then what writer literally conveys? Literally conveys means that there are two types of conveying of messages. Literal means to as it is. Means that when he wants to say something, there can be meanings which are as it is meaning of something, which are called literal meanings. Then there are other type of meanings which are called figurative meaning, the meanings which are conveyed, which we are going to assign to them. Then writer speaks to arouse readers' thoughts. This is sense. Sense of a word mean his feelings are going to be aroused. Then straightforward and descriptive language is used, and words are used to attract the attention of a person who is a reader, or something conveyed plainly. Mean that where a sense is concerned, mean that when a writer writes some words and you are going through those words, you are coming across those words, you are reading those words. So what the writer wants to say is the sense, what is the real sense, what writer says, that is sense, and how he is going to convey the meanings literally. So if you are a student of literature, the very first you must keep in mind that a word that is written there, what is the sense of that word used by that person, by that writer. Then being a student of literature, you will be in the position and you will start understanding the use of a word in that context, in a piece of drama, novel, short story or poetry. And the second thing that is related with the words and their meaning, that is the feeling. Whenever any person utters some word, feelings are always there. When a writer writes something, it means that his emotional attitude of the writer, emotional attitude of the writer is there, feelings of the writers are there, thinking patterns of the writers are there. Then these feelings, it tells writers attachment or detachment to subject is feeling. Feeling means that when he utters a word, when he writes something, it means that he is going to show detachment from that idea or attachment from that idea, because according to the situation he will choose different words. So this is also a thing which is called feeling. And then he expresses his views. It means that through feelings he expresses his views. And then emotions are important, and because a word tells the attitude, will, desire, pleasure, and all these type of things which are related with the writer. Then when a word is uttered or word is written, then the third thing is the tone of the word. It means that attitude of the writers to the reader, a relationship between the writer and the reader, and then this thing is also part. Then the writer chooses words by keeping in mind the reader, the status of the reader, because when a time comes that with the passage of time readers change, but the writer is always the same. So the tone of that word always remains. From that point of view, from the writer's point of view, perhaps it will be same. But whereas the readers are concerned, the tone changes. So there is a relationship that is maintained through this tone between the reader and the writer. Then level of reader and selection of words. Tone varies from listener to listener. So when tone changes, it means that meanings are going to change. Then the fourth important thing is that intention. Intention means message of the speaker, message of the dramatist, message of the novelist, message of the poet, message of an essayist, message of any writer of any piece of literature. That's called intention. Then it means that when he is uttering some words or writing some words, he can consciously or unconsciously he is going to give meanings, he is going to present some aim. Then it refers to effects on one tries to produce. It means that intention means that effect of those words upon the listener or the reader. It also draws the attention to something important, and this intention means that these words have a purpose. So if we are to sum up these words and meaning with reference to literature, if you are a student, being a student of literature, you are going through any piece of literature, it can be any genre of literature. The first thing you must keep with reference to words, and because the combination of different words that makes a sentence and sentence makes a sense, you must keep in mind that when this writer is writing this word, what is the sense of that word? It means that what he wants to say, that is the sense. Then there are feelings. Feelings of the writers are always there, and he writes his feelings by keeping in mind also the feelings of the other person who is a reader. Then tone. Tone means the tone. What is the tone of the writer? What is tone? What is the attitude of that person towards the reader, towards the thought content, towards the ideologies which he wants to present. And then there is an intention, means that what is the purpose of that. Now, whenever a writer writes something, it means that he is a part of a society, and society is always a judicious combination of social, political, moral, ethical, religious, cultural norms and values. Without these things, a society is nothing. People are living in society, and all these things are also a part of society. So people convey messages by using words, and those words have sense, they have tone, they have feelings, they have this thing, intention. So if whatever you want to understand, these four aspects of a word must be kept in mind, and only then a student or any person will be able to understand the real intentions of the speaker.